All right, let's get into it. Today, we are diving deep, and I mean that literally, into one of the last great frontiers right here on our own planet, the huge, dark, and super mysterious deep ocean.
Okay, just let that sink in for a second. We're always looking up at the stars, right? Wondering what's out there. But what if the biggest unknowns are right here? Two-thirds of all life in the ocean might be things we've never even seen before. That's just wild. And to really get a sense of the scale we're talking about, remember this: the ocean covers 70% of our planet. It's not just a feature of our world. In a lot of ways, it is our world.
But get this, we've mapped less than 10% of the seafloor in any kind of detail. No joke, we have better, more complete maps of the surface of Mars than we do of the bottom of our own oceans. And it's in this huge, uncharted darkness that the real secrets are hiding.
This chart really drives the point home, doesn't it? Look at that massive, undiscovered slice. We're not just talking about finding a few new types of fish here and there. This represents potentially hundreds of thousands of species, a whole hidden world of life that's been doing its thing completely unseen.
So yeah, that is the big question. What is actually down there? Well, as explorers keep pushing the limits of technology, venturing deeper and deeper, they are starting to get some truly mind-bending answers. So, you want to meet some of them? Let's take a look at some of the newest, and frankly, weirdest members of the animal kingdom that have just been found. First up, we've got something called the death ball sponge. Yeah, you heard that right. It sounds more like a weapon from a sci-fi movie than a sea creature, but trust me, it's not a sponge you'd want to use in the bath. This thing completely rewrites the rule book for what a sponge is. Forget about it being some passive filter feeder. No, this is a meat-eating predator. Its entire ball-shaped body is covered in these tiny Velcro-like hooks. It just sits there in the dark, and when some unsuspecting little fish or krill drifts by, snap, it's caught. It's a perfect ambush predator. Okay, next up is a creature that looks like it was designed by H.R. Giger. This is the Viperfish, a true hunter of what they call the perpetual midnight zone. The Viperfish is pretty much the poster child for the deep sea. It lives in total blackness, but here's the cool part. It makes its own light. You see those glowing spots? They're called photophores, and they're not just for decoration. They're bioluminescent lures dangling in the dark to attract curious prey. And when something gets too close, bam! It gets snatched by those insane jaws with teeth so long they actually curve back over its own head. It's like a living cage. There's no escape. But you know, it's not always about finding something brand spanking new. Sometimes the biggest wins come from finally getting a look at a creature that's been the stuff of legends for years. For 100 years, the colossal squid was basically a sea monster myth. We knew it was real because we'd find bits of it in the stomachs of whales, but no one had ever seen a live one in its home turf. And then, they did. Researchers captured the first ever footage of a juvenile, just swimming around. It was a huge moment. It proved that even the ocean's biggest, most legendary predators can stay hidden from us. Which, of course, raises the question, how on earth do you find these things in the first place? The answer is pretty amazing. It's a mix of some seriously heavy-duty engineering and some incredibly delicate, precise science. It's a whole process. First, these advanced submersibles, basically super tough, remote-controlled robots, go down and act as our eyes in the deep. They're grabbing amazing high-def video and collecting physical samples. Then, back in the lab, you have scientists called taxonomists who meticulously document every little detail. And finally, they use DNA barcoding to get that final genetic proof that, yep, this is a species that's completely new to science. And here's the thing. Because so much of the ocean floor is still a total mystery, literally every single one of these dives could turn up something nobody has ever seen before. The age of discovery isn't over. Down in the deep ocean, it feels like it's just getting started.
So this brings us to the big picture. I mean, finding a weird sponge or a glow-in-the-dark fish is cool and all, but why does it actually matter? Well, every single one of these discoveries is like finding another piece of the giant puzzle of life on Earth. And these pieces have real-world importance. The unique biology of some deep-sea creature could lead to new medicines. Understanding these ecosystems helps us figure out things like climate change. Every find just tells us a little bit more about how life can thrive in the most extreme places you can imagine, which helps us complete the story of our own planet. At the end of the day, we just have to remember this. The deep ocean is our planet's biggest unknown ecosystem. It's not just some faraway place. It's the single largest living space on Earth, and we're only just scratching the surface of what it holds.
And that's really the thought I want to leave you with. The things we've seen today are bizarre, beautiful, and feel totally alien. But they're just what we found so far. It really makes you wonder, right? If these are the creatures we know of, what other marvels are still out there, swimming in the darkness, just waiting for us to find them? The ocean, it seems, has a lot more secrets to share.